So this is David Tal. This is the Balagan Connection. I want to give you a quick update of what's going on. And yes, the first thing I want to do is say thank you. I know it's Sunday. I know a lot of you have been in church today, and I hear that a lot of the churches are supporting and praying for Israel. And I have to say, it touches our heart. It kind of helps us feel a little bit more that we have somebody behind us. Here's a couple of words about what's happening right now in the south, in Gaza right now. Israel has closed off the border again. We're not being attacked physically on the ground, but the rockets are still shooting out of Gaza into Sderot, Ashkelon, and some of them made it all the way up to not far from where I am in Rishon LeZion. So the war is still going on. Israel is hitting Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip, and the stories that are coming out of there are that there's a lot of bombing going on. Israel has decided to take out the Hamas leadership, which means if they know that there's a Hamas representative in the house, they'll take the house. I mean, that's the fight that we're going on. We have managed to hit some of the Hamas leadership. And basically, Israel is very careful to hit military, what is designated military targets. The only problem is the Hamas is using their civilian population as human shields, and that's the problem that we're dealing with right now. We're getting prepared for a land operation that'll probably go into Gaza, which is why Israel told the people in Gaza City, that's the northern part of Gaza, leave Gaza City, go to the south in order to stay out of the conflicting battle. The world is blaming us for moving them out. We're not moving them out. They will be allowed to come back, but we are trying to kind of minimize civilian population as opposed to what our enemies do. So again, there's a war, and I'm going to be starting to talk about the war. I'm going to give you a side note. In this war, you are going to be part of the battle for the legitimacy and for the support of the state of Israel, and we'll give you a little bit of information about that. Pray for the soldiers that are preparing. Right now, they're training, they're getting themselves armed. Most of Israel's military might is reservist, okay? You see the glasses here? That means I'm old enough not to be called up anymore. So, I mean, but most of the people are younger, and I've done this many times. They're moving into uniforms. They're running on the ground. They're learning to use their weapons. They're checking their equipment and getting ready for this oncoming war that is going to go into Gaza. A lot of them young believers. A lot of them connected to Netiva. We've talked about Netiva before, which is a ministry that actually disciples and prepares young Christians to go into the army, and all of Netiva right now is into connecting to these young people and supporting them as we're all getting ready. The whole country is on war footing. I mean, we're sending food to people and to the soldiers. We're sending them socks. We're sending them candy bars. I mean, that's what's going on. Israel has moved some of its forces up to the north. And if you're following what's going on, the Hezbollah, which is a pro-Iranian group in the north, is on the verge of, messing with opening up another front on the northern side. The Hezbollah is a pro-Iranian terrorist group, which is heavily armed, and that will make Israel have to fight a war on two fronts. So we have moved forces up into the north in order to kind of stare down the Hezbollah. But I will say this, and maybe this is something else to talk about. The United States of America has come out in huge support, actual physical military support, moved American assets into the Eastern Mediterranean, and actually is staring down at the other factors that are playing here: Iran, the Russians, Syria, and Hezbollah. And your president has made it very clear: stay out of this war in order to let us do what we need to do. And I can't help but think that the reason that your administration is making such an effort to support Israel is because people like you are behind and pushing this from the bottom. And keep on doing that. Keep on making it clear that you support Israel and you want your government to support Israel. It is very critical for us because American support helps us fight this battle on the ground. And maybe last, but well, not last, another thing is, I'm starting to see what's going on in the world, and I'm starting even to see what's going on in different places in the United States. We need your help in the media battle. And I'm going to be starting to put out videos about Gaza, about this. It is a war for truth. Now, I am the way, the truth. God said he is truth. What I'm trying to say is the enemy is using lies and false information against us. I'm going to be giving you some of the truth about Gaza, some of the truth about Hamas, some of the truth that's going on. But you have to stand up for the truth, and as much as you have to stand up for anything else. So that's going to be a part of the war. It's going to be a long, protracted war, which brings me to my personal situation, which I've decided I'm going to share with you. My boys are okay. Yarden and Dolev have not been called up, thank God. And so they're each one in his own little realm, volunteering and helping out with things. I am old enough not to be in uniform right now. I don't have a military command, meaning they've taken all my tanks away from me and given them to somebody younger and more handsome. So I don't really have a role in this war, and it's driving me crazy. I need you to pray for me for patience, because it's rubbing up against everything that I am, not to be in uniform and not to be on the front line right now. I've decided that this is how I'm going to fight the war, and I need your help to do this. I mean, spread the word, spread these movies, tell about people, but pray for me that I will be able to not get too frustrated with the fact that I'm not in uniform, not on the tank, and not preparing to go in and defend my country like all of these young people are doing. I mean, it really is hard. I mean, having a serious problem. So pray for me so I have the patience and the wisdom to keep on kind of putting some of these movies together. We need your direct support. We need you to support a couple of the ministries that are going through we're dealing with that. And now is an important time to support them. Gijón Springs, I've got a link on my Facebook page. I've got a link on my Instagram page. Gijón Springs is actually channeling funds to Netiva, which is supporting the soldiers, and other ministries in Israel that are supporting both Israelis and Christians in Israel in this special time. So check that out. See if there's anything that you can do. And like I've said before, pray for us. This is a critical time. This is a hard time for each of us on the national level, each of us on a personal level, and start teaching yourself the truth about what's going to happen, because the coming war, you're going to be the soldiers. This is DaviDTaL. This is the Balagan Connection in Israel. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. And thank you for standing by Israel. See you soon.